Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is your girl IJ with another video. Welcome back, and I'm happy that you're here. We are happy that you are here, that you came back again for another video. So thank you so much for stopping by. So today I have this video for you guys. It's not a makeup video, it's just a video on how I passed my NCLEX at 76 questions. I did the first video and most of you guys watched it. In that video I had about 1,000 and something views. Like seriously, that's how good that video was. So if you haven't watched the video, I'm going to leave a link for you to go check it out, maybe somewhere, you know, at the top of this video. So when I did the video, many of you guys called me and was like you were like, oh IJ, thank you so much for this video because you made me, I want to go study now for my exam and all of that. And that really made me feel good because I felt like I was able to encourage somebody to do something with their life, and you know that is fulfilling, or that's rewarding to some extent. Then you have people who call and they were asking for tips and all of that, and I think I know of somebody whom after watching that video and I spoke to her, she studied, she took her exam and she passed. That's how good that video was. So if you haven't watched the video, go ahead and check that video. Yes, check it out. So I just want to give you guys some little, you know, tips on how I studied and how I was able to make it at 76 questions. I know many people are trying to pass the NCLEX exam just as I struggled, and I think maybe my input might be something that you need, or it might not be what you need, but somebody else might need it. So that's why I decided to put together this video. So what I did personally was I had to sit down and ask myself that what do I really want, seriously, because I've taken this exam a couple of times and I didn't pass. I needed to ask myself those questions. Do I really need to study for this exam and pass, or do I just want to keep failing it? For me, I wanted to pass this exam so bad. So after coming up with the fact that I wanted to pass the exam, that was my goal, that was my vision, I want to pass. The second thing was to outline or put together, why did you fail the first time? What happened? What did you do wrong? You know, because in order to fix a problem, you have to know what the problem is. That is clear. So you have to know what you did wrong. If your problem was that you did not know the content, or you just did questions, or you were just breezing through the questions or something, what is your problem? Sit down and you ask yourself that question. Now for me, I did not know so much of the content. I did nursing since 2010, and so much in nursing. See, nursing changes a lot. So in order to keep yourself, you know, in flow or in line in what is happening, you have to study. So when I did the exam, the times that I didn't really study the content. I was just going through questions. I thought I knew it, but I didn't. So after putting that down, I had to make a plan, a study plan. What is your study plan? You cannot study today and you study next week Friday and that is it. With NCLEX, you have to keep it continuous, because if you study on Monday and then you do on Sunday, then whatever you study on Monday, you're not even going to remember it, or even if you remember, you're going to remember just a little. So you have to go back in order to retrieve that information. So you have to make a timetable. So as for me, I study from Monday through Friday, then I relax Saturday and Sunday. You know, so I used to go study from about 2 p.m. to about 11 p.m. I used to study at Starbucks. I don't know, you have to find the environment that is good for you to study, just so that you can, you know, let something sink in. Because I don't like to study at the library. That's why I prefer Starbucks. When I study at the library, I just feel like the environment is just too tense and I just cannot concentrate. And secondly, the cold, my goodness, the AC was just too much for me at the library. Every time I was at the library, I just felt like, let me sleep. That was it. I just wanted to sleep. So I'm like, no, this is not going to work for me. So I decided to go to Starbucks. So when I was doing it at Starbucks, it was fine. So I used to go to Starbucks from Monday through Friday. There were times that I missed, you know, in between the days or in between the times that I had to study, that was okay. But you have to find a way to catch up if you miss any day within the days that you've already set to study. So I used to study from 2 p.m. to about 11 p.m. I did that because my husband used to go study in the morning, so when he comes back I go and study. That was a plan that worked for both of us. What I did was, when I got to Starbucks, I make sure my first 2 hours I will read the content. And the content for me, I was reading from the Saunders text, the NCLEX book. That book is the Bible for NCLEX. So if you want to pass NCLEX, get that book. If you can know that book from inside out, there's nothing to stop you from passing the NCLEX. I'm telling you guys the truth. That was all I read. I did not read no textbook. Were there any things that I checked online? Yes, there were things that I checked online, but that book is everything you need, seriously. So my first 2 hours, I will read the content, I'll read the Saunders, and just stop it. I'll read the content, I'll read the Saunders textbook, the chapters that I'd already allocated for that day. I'll read the content for 2 hours, then I go and I start to do questions. I bought Kaplan and I also bought UWall. Now Kaplan, I had to buy Kaplan because I wanted to know how to take exams here in the US, because exams in the US, I mean, they are set a different way from other countries, and there's a strategy that US people use in order to pass an exam. So with Kaplan, they use what they call the decision tree. The decision tree actually helps you to narrow down to the best answer and to eliminate options that do not relate to the question. So with the decision tree, if you really understand the decision tree very well, you can actually answer questions that you know nothing about. That's how good the decision tree was. I know Kaplan is kind of expensive, but if you have the money, you can do Kaplan. But if you do not have the money, you can just do UWall and do the Saunders NCLEX textbook. That works as well. So I would normally do questions from Kaplan, and I'll also do questions on UWall. So when I was doing the questions, what I did was, each question that I did not have right and each question that I had right, I looked up the rationale. You want to check the rationale, because behind those rationales, they give you tips or they give you information that can help you to answer other questions. So if you read the rationale behind those answers, then those rationales can still help you to answer other questions. So that's why I was reading those rationales. Now, if you can read the Saunders textbook, you will also find the same information in the Saunders textbook. But that was a win-win to me, because I was reading my content and I was also going through the rationale. So I was able to, get as much as possible. Once I had finished the Kaplan, because with Kaplan had questions at the end of each module or something, and then they had the readiness test. So when I did, I studied like that, just as I told you guys. I went to Starbucks and I studied and all of that. At some point, when it was like 2 weeks close to my exam, I had to tell my husband, I said, babe, see, I need to go somewhere to just concentrate and pass this exam. So I left him with the kids, and I really, really appreciate my husband for this, seriously. He's the best. So I left him with the kids and I went to my friend's place. I was at her basement. That was where, I killed it, I nailed it. See, every minute counted. Every minute counted. I had a goal and I was determined to get it. So I was at my friend's place for 2 weeks. I studied morning, day, night, midnight. That's how I was studying. So like 3 days to my exam, I took the readiness test from Kaplan, and I did so well. I felt so good. And that one is timed or something. I felt so good. Then I made sure I finished all the questions on Kaplan. I finished all the questions on UWall. And when I was done, I felt like, okay, I was ready. That was my plan. So what I'm trying to tell you guys is, if you're studying for this exam, make sure you get the materials that you think will help you. If you need Kaplan, do Kaplan. I did Kaplan self-pace, where I pace myself. And then I also bought the Sounders textbook, and I also had UO. You know, with UO you can, when you don't leave it to expire. So that was what I used. And one thing with Kaplan is that you can extend, every month if it's about to expire, because Kaplan is for like 3 months, and then if you don't get to, they give you a grace period for, they extend it for another 3 months if you don't get to take your exam within that time. So that was what I did. So get the materials that you need, and make sure you get a plan in the sense that get a day within the week, some days within the week that you have to study, and a good number of hours, like maybe 8, 6, 7 hours will be good. From Monday through Friday, make sure you have something. If you're going to study Monday and then you study on Sunday, that is not going to help you. So make sure you have something that flows, a plan that that you can easily follow, and when you miss a day, you know that you have to catch up. That was what I did. Now, if you're one of those who are coming from another country and you want to write the NCLEX exam and you think you really don't need the content, I will advise you not to go ahead and register as yet. Make sure you go through the content, at least half of that Sounders textbook, before you go register, because you want to make sure that you finish or you cover the content before your due date or before the date you're supposed to take the exam. So that was what I did. I hope this information helps somebody, or is going to encourage or help somebody to also make it through this difficult exam. It's not like NCLEX is difficult, it's just that it's not a difficult exam. It's just that we just need to really put ourselves down and study. That's basically it. It's not a difficult exam. And I just really want to wish us, all of you guys who are planning to take whatever exam, is it NCLEX or capstone, whatever exam that you're planning to take, I just want to wish you good luck, and I hope this video was able to help you in some way. So thank you all so very much for watching me again talk, and I'll talk to you guys in another video. If you like videos like this, leave a comment down below, or if you have any questions, leave a comment down below, and I'll try as much as possible to answer all your questions. I will answer all your questions.